The Bears are still officially one win away from the NFC Championship appearance, but that win is not going to be easy to come across. We're going to break down the Bears' latest injury report, the massive challenge that the Rams do present, Kevin Byard talking about how to stop the Rams' offense and why DeAndre Swift just gave us one of the best descriptions of Caleb Williams yet. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And man, I am so excited about this game coming up against the Los Angeles Rams, but I will not lie to you guys. I'm a little bit nervous about the game, mainly because, I want the Bears to be great, right? And the Bears are actually fighting and competing for something. I think that nervousness that's in the pit of my stomach isn't because I doubt the team, or I do have some doubts about the defense. I don't want to act like there's no doubts about the team at all, but just overall, it's that the Bears are actually playing for something meaningful again. The Bears are actually in the midst of doing something that not many people expected us to be able to do this first year under Ben Johnson, and thus, it brings its own set of nerves and everything else going on with it. But I just want this team to be great. And I want this team to continue to just be the team that we've seen that has fought and compete with the heart that we've seen this team compete with over this season. And that's what I want. And so, and I think part of me as well has it in the back of my head that, there's a lot of people who are waiting on the Bears to fail so they could say, I told you so. And that's not anything that we can control. It's not anything that's going to stop. Regardless of what the Bears do, there are going to be people who are waiting, I told you so about the Bears either way, right? No matter how good the Bears look, how great the Bears look, the Bears can come into this game and they can lose in overtime against the Los Angeles Rams. There's going to be a segment of people that say, see, Caleb Williams' luck ran out. Caleb Williams is not that good of a quarterback. And it's just like, shut the fuck up, right? But with that, like I said, with expectations comes nervousness. And I've been somebody who's been trying to keep my expectations under control for this team the whole entire year. Since I did the preseason preview or the record preview where I predicted the season and how the win-loss record for the Bears, and I predicted 10 wins, and I was like, even then, you can go back to that video, I was almost second-guessing myself on predicting the Bears to win that many games, right? It just comes with you want your team to be great, you want your team to succeed, but also the people that the haters that are waiting in the wind. But I'll say this, sometimes when people have to hate, that means that you've already got some version of success, right? Like Packers fans. Packers fans have not shut up about the Chicago Bears since we kicked their ass on Saturday. And it's not fair to say kick their ass, but since we got the victory on Saturday. And, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, y'all, everybody wants to talk shit about the Bears, but yet y'all at home. It's just that type of thing. But, overall, I'll say this when it comes to the Bears. Bears fans are going to have their expectations. Bears fans are going to have their feelings, all that type of stuff. There's nothing, and you're not wrong for that. If you are a Bears fan and you are excited about this team, I want everybody to just take a breath in and realize it's perfectly fine to be excited about your football team. It's Bears fan PTSD that I have, that a lot of Bears fans have, when it's like we feel like we have to temper the expectation. We feel like we have to give ourselves reasons not to be excited about this team or not to let ourselves get caught up in fandom. It's fandom. That's what it is. It doesn't have to be rational. It doesn't have to be any of that. But guess what? This team has given us reasons to fan out. It's given us reasons to be excited about this team. So if you're like me, you're a Bears fan that's been sitting around and let me chill a little bit. No, fuck that chill. Get excited. Get amped. No matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, nobody even expected us to be here. And the fact that we now have this season to build off on and to try to and to get to another level next season and to refine things and get even more wins next season and do those type of things, that's all great. It's all fine and dandy. That is what it's like to be a fan of a normal franchise. Yeah, it sucks that the Bears have disappointed us for years and years and years. It sucks. And that's been the identity of being a Bears fan for the majority of our lives, for the ones that have been Bears fans for our whole lives. But fuck all that. Have fun. Let's appreciate where we are now. You can be excited, but still take a honest evaluation of where this team is now. But hell, if you're somebody who's at the place where you feel like this team is going to go to a Super Bowl, get fucking excited. Get irrational about it. Do whatever you need to do. It's fandom. It doesn't have to make sense. Now, if you are communicating and having a rational conversation, that's where you have to make sense of things. But if you are amped, do you see all these people that are hype about their team? Do you see all these people that live and breathe for the team, knowing that the team ain't going to do shit? It's okay. Bears fans, it's okay to be excited. That's what I'm here to tell you guys. It's okay to be hype. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to be irrational. And let's just have fun with it. Win, lose, or draw, wherever it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. But I didn't even plan. That wasn't even a planned rant to start off this episode. I was going to talk about the injury report. That just came out just based off pure and nothing fandom. But let's talk about the injury report for the Chicago Bears, which things are looking pretty good for the Bears outside of what we already know as far as the players that have been put on injury reserve. But as far as in yesterday's practice, Nick McLeod, the defensive back, did not participate in practice. But DJ Moore, Odunze, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, and CJ Gardner-Johnson, those first four players were all listed as a limited participant. So DJ Moore, Odunze, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, limited participants. Nick McLeod did not participate in practice. But a good sign, CJ Gardner-Johnson, after being in concussion protocol for last week's game, was a full participant in practice. That's good. I'm excited in a playoff game to have him and Kyler Gordon out there with Jalen Johnson and to just have kind of a more versatile cornerback crew. And the reason why I say that is that the way that Dennis Allen likes to scheme his quarterbacks, and even CJ Gardner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon, you like to run blitz them. You like to pass blitz them. You like to have them in run support. You like to have them in coverage. Now having two guys that can do that, and hopefully Kyler Gordon's more prepared to handle the quicker wide receivers, it just frees up what Dennis Allen can do scheme-wise. And that's what I'm excited about seeing. But then outside of that, Braxton Jones, Amin, and Joe Tyron Shoyinka, all full participants in practice as well. So that's good to see those guys out there full participant. I said it before, this Bears team isn't going to see a fully healthy team this season at all. It is what it is. Every team's dealing with injuries. You got to have the next man up mentality. But I think getting CJ Gardner-Johnson back is going to be really good scheme-wise for what Dennis Allen needs to do a lot against the Los Angeles Rams, especially with the way that Matt Stafford can put up yards and points in the air and all those type of things. You need to have a secondary that is as close to fully healthy as what you can get. Now, we know that Jalen Johnson hasn't been fully healthy this season, even after his return. Kyler Gordon is going to be 100% after the amount of time that he missed either. But to get these guys back and have these bodies out here to go along with Nashawn Wright and what he can do with takeaways, even though he's a little shaky in coverage. Jaquan Brisker had a big game last game. Kevin Byard has been good all season. So to have these guys out here and ready to go, I think that's going to be really big for the Chicago Bears team. So, let's see what we're going to do out there. But overall, that's the injury report. Of course, we already know Ozzie Trapillo season's done. TJ Edwards season's done. But we got to have the next man up mentality. And so you need to know whose your bodies are going to be out there. Hopefully the Bears attack this. They prepare for it. And Dennis Allen, especially with that defense, man, that's going to be a hugely important part of it. Now, it is good to note, which I almost missed, that Wednesday practice was just a walkthrough. So, maybe some of those guys that were full participant may not be full participants once the pads are back on. We'll see. But overall, hey, the Bears are ready to attack it. That's who we're going to go to battle with, and we'll see what we get out of that. But you want those guys healthy because this Rams team, especially offensively, we're going to need all hands on deck for that. I'm really mad we don't have TJ Edwards in that one, but it is what it is. But in speaking about that, Kevin Byard talked about the problems that the Rams are going to present for the Chicago Bears. He had a great quote here. He said this: as long as he's played in the league, I think he's probably the best football of his career. He's probably say that. He's just very confident within the scheme. What Sean McVay is doing, playing a very high level. Obviously, he has a top two, probably top not two receiver in the league right now with Nacua, who's playing at a very high level. Davante Adams is still Davante Adams. The run game is humming as well. There's a reason why they're the number one offense in the league this year. Well, for one, I think that his run game is unique. He's almost similar to the 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan, and even Ben, where they're doing as much as far as their personnel, moving them around a lot, different places, and they're creating angles in the run game, but also getting your eyes off where they're shifting the guy here. But then they're bringing the tight end this way, but then the run is going that way, and then it's wheeling back where it's kind of getting guys out of place, and they're able to get downhill. Every run might not hit for 20 yards, but it's 4 or 5, 6 again, positive yards every time. I think that's very unique. And I'm glad that Kevin Byard is saying that, because that tells me that that's how this defense is preparing for this team. The McVay offense is a motherfucker. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. When you look at the weapons that the Los Angeles Rams have at their disposal, this is not a team that you can take lightly at all. This is a team full of weapons from top to bottom. Matt Stafford is playing at an MVP level despite being 37 years old. He threw for almost 5,000 yards this season and 46 touchdowns. Nacua as well, second in the NFL in receiving yards at 1,715. They also had, the only person that had more than them was Jackson Smith and Jigba with 1,793. So then you have to prepare for that pass game, right? Which is already, we've seen teams carve the Chicago Bears secondary up because of our inability to get a consistent pass rush. So that's something where the secondary has to be. That's why having the most bodies possible in that secondary is hugely important for the Chicago Bears team. But then you have to look at the run game, right? And that's what Kevin Byard is talking about. You cannot forget the run game in this one. Kyron Williams finished with 1,252 yards, 10 touchdowns on 259 carries. Then you got Corum as well, who tripped in another 746 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns on 145 carries. This offense is absolutely stacked, and it's loaded, and they can score at any moment from any place on the field, and that presents a problem for the Chicago Bears defense, and that is why they have to prepare, and they have to be on their P's and Q's. It'd be great to see a game for Montez Sweat and Austin Booker to where they get some unexpected, consistent pressure on Matt Stafford, but you're going to need your secondary to be locked in. You're going to need your secondary to be prepared, right? And that is something that you cannot overlook at all. When you look at what Dennis Allen gave up against the Green Bay Packers, 21 first-half points, if you do that against a Los Angeles Rams team, that's not going to be a team that's as easy to stop in the second half as what the Green Bay Packers were. Yeah, we held them to only 6 points after that, right? And, that's great and amazing for the Chicago Bears to be able to do that. But you cannot come into this one and slack and lack. You just can't, right? And Ben Johnson also sent a clear message to the Chicago Bears in regards to that. He said this: we don't want to put ourselves in a hole against a team like this, like we've done a number of times this year. We talk about playing a complete game of offense. This is the week that needs to happen for us to beat them. So while the defense has to be prepared for all the weapons and the way that the Rams can score, the Chicago Bears offense has to put up points early. This is not a game where you want to wait till the fourth quarter to start doing your shit. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, there are a lot of people waiting and just dying to be able to say, hey, what the Chicago Bears did this season was a fluke. The luck ran out for Caleb Williams. It was all lucky. He was more lucky than good, all that type of shit. We need this offense to be not perfect, but as near perfect as possible. You got to limit the drops. You got to limit the missed throws. Caleb Williams only completed 50% of his passes. We're going to need closer to 60% against this Rams team, but we're also going to need to go to common non-guy and DeAndre Swift early. That's also what I'm looking at for this team. If Ben Johnson wants this offense to get out to a quick start, establish your running game first. Establish your running game early. I get it that Ben Johnson is somebody who likes to bring that balance there, and sometimes that comes later on in the game, but we need to eliminate the questions with this one. We have to come into this game, and very early on, we have to establish our run game. Be that run-first team that we've talked about all season that we should be. If you get success on the ground early, you'll find how easy that makes it to find success in your passing game. When you have to rediscover your run game later on, the defense is kind of already set in the box, right? So you got to do those things. This is a game where more so than anything else, we need the offense, we need the defense to be in synergy. If we don't get that, if we cannot get that in this game, I just worry about how we're going to win it, right? And that's just a question for it. Like I've said it, fuck the record for the Los Angeles Rams. This is the most complete team in the NFC. This is one of the most dangerous teams in the game of football. And if you cannot get stops, especially on third downs, and then I would say this, every single opportunity that the defense does get a stop, wherever they get a stop at, the Bears have to put up points on the offensive side of the ball. We have to take advantage of those times and put some points on the offensive side of the ball. And so I want to see how loose Ben Johnson is with the play calling in this one. How free is Ben Johnson with the play calling? Do we see what we've seen in some games in the past where Ben Johnson gets a little tight early with the play calling, and then as the momentum starts building, that's where we see kind of some of that creativity. I don't need to see trick plays. I'm not saying that in creativity. I don't need to see a bunch of trick plays. I don't need to see that. But what I do need to see is intentionality behind what you run, where you run it, and how you attack. That's what I need to see. So we haven't had a lot of games where the offense and defense both showed up at the same time for the full game. We have to play probably our most complete game of the season against the Los Angeles Rams if we want a chance. That's just it. And I think that from what we've heard from the players, what we've heard from the staff, what we've heard from everybody so far, it does seem like everybody understands the gravity of this moment. Like, this is a chance to go to the NFC Championship. Like, you could still be talented. You can still win a lot of games. So you can have winning seasons every year for the next 3 years. You may never be in this position again. May never be. Hopefully we're building towards this where we're in this position a lot more, right? But you may never be in this position again. You have to leave it all out there on the field. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because if you do not do that, you're gonna get spanked. You're gonna get smacked around. And that is the last thing that we want to see from this Bears team, is to see a team that gets smacked around when we work so hard to get to this point. So the offense, the defense, Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, Al Harris. We need everybody to be on their best in this game. And the Bears don't need to just prepare for a football game. They got to prepare for a war. That's what it has to be. This has to be a war in the snow. This, if it actually snows, but at least in the Chicago cold. You have to be prepared for this one. That Soldier Field, that's a good name for it, because that is a battlefield on Sunday for the Chicago Bears. You got to be locked in. You got to be ready to go, and you got to be amped. I need to see the energy from snap one from this team. If it's offense, if it's defense, everybody needs to understand the moment. But don't allow that energy to make you play uncontrolled. You still need to be calculated. You still need to be measured. You still need to be, determined in this one. And we'll see if the Bears can do it, man. We will see if the Bears can do it. I've learned to never count this team out, but this is a game where I don't want to wait till the fourth quarter to talk about the Bears finally starting to put it together. We need to see a complete game from this team today. They're capable of it. We've seen it before. They are definitely capable, but will they do it? That is the biggest question here, and hopefully they do, because if the Bears go to the NFC Championship game, it's one game after that. For what it's worth, it's one game every single week. Any team on any given Sunday. But this Sunday, take it. Take it. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to happenstance. Don't leave it up to margins. Go out there and put it all out on the football field, because a lot of these players aren't ever going to be in this situation again. They're just not. Go out there and leave it all out on the football field, because this Rams team is favored. And it just is what it is. Rightfully so, they are favored, because they're playing with the momentum. They're playing with the respect, because they've earned it over years. The Bears got some shit to go out here and prove it on Sunday. We must, because if we do not, it's going to get ugly. And it's going to get ugly really fucking quick. But one of the biggest players that we need to play well is definitely Caleb Williams. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We need Caleb to show up and look like a playoff quarterback in Sunday's game. And DeAndre Swift talked a little bit about Caleb Williams and what he's noticed about Caleb. He said this. He's been great, especially in got-to-have-it moments. You hear this voice in the huddle a little bit more, which is great. It's what you hear from a quarterback. He said something to us in the huddle where everything was put into perspective. We know we got to go ahead and win this game. We're in a position to go ahead and do so. He's been great for us all year, and then in got-to-have-it moments, that shows up every single week, as y'all know. His leadership, I would say, is just steps that he's taken since last year as far as maturity and things like that. His preparation, everything that he's doing day in and day out is showing up. We need Caleb Williams to show up this week. We need Caleb Williams to show up for a full 4 quarters. We need the Caleb Williams that is decisive, that is intentional, that is picking apart a defense. We need to see that Caleb Williams. That Iceman, it's great. It's a moniker. He's earned that. And I don't want to take away from that at all. But we need a Caleb Williams that's going to show up and be Captain Caleb. That's what we need to see today. Is Captain Caleb. Come in here and run this team. Run this offense. Be the leader that we need you to be. That's what we need to see from Caleb Williams. This is a game where, right or wrong, take what you will, everybody's going to be judging what happens in this game and judging whether the season of Caleb Williams was a fluke or not based off this game alone. This is a game where we need Caleb Williams to show up with leadership, that we need him to show up with what he's done. And it's great to hear DeAndre Swift, a veteran who's played with some really good quarterbacks, to say that, that the leadership, the maturity, the preparation that he's going through, right? The process that he has. Those are all great quotes, but we need to see the results of that. It's good to hear it, but we need to see it. And this is a game where we need to see it from everybody, not just him. So Common Guy, DeAndre Swift, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. I'm looking at everybody in this game. We need the Chicago Bears to go out here and be the monsters of the Midway. That's what we need to see here. The monsters of the Midway. That's what we need from this team this Sunday. And let's hope that we get it, because the world is waiting to doubt you. And it's time that you say, hey, this Chicago, nigga, fuck the world. This ain't the world. This is Chicago. We built different. So let's hope that we're going to get it. Let's hope that we're going to see a team that is really on their P's and Q's, that is really taking care of business, and that understands the gravity, the seriousness, and the ferocity that's needed to be played in this moment. So Bears, go out here and do your thing, because the city of Chicago is riding with you. Chicago Bears Central is riding with you. Let's go out here. Let's get this done. Take a little bit of the passion I have, leave it all out there on the football field, because, listen, it was great beating those cheeseheads, but it's nothing like cutting the horns off some Rams. Let's go out here and get it done. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Drop your thoughts down below. How confident are you riding into this game against the Los Angeles Rams? As always, you guys can follow us at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.